Hi everyone, my name is Justin Placide, co-chair of the Civil Service Race Forum. I want to welcome you to something that we're doing to raise awareness and shine a bit of spotlight on some of our network leaders. So I want to welcome you to our network leaders session.
Hi everyone, my name is Kobirul Islam. I am the Government Commercial Function Positive Support Group co-chair.
So part of this network leaders series for the Civil Service Race Forum is highlighting and providing a spotlight for network leaders like yourself so that people get to know a bit more about what you do, what motivates you, and why you're such a great leader. One of the questions I'm going to ask is just to help break the ice. I hope you'll be happy with this. So what did you want to be when you grew up?
Great question, Justin. When I was younger, I had big dreams, and one of those was to be an aeronautical engineer when I was young. Flying planes, I did travel quite a bit with my family, with my mom, dad, flying to Bangladesh, and I was fascinated with planes. So when I was younger, I actually took a picture in the cockpit with the pilot, and I've still got that, and it's amazing. And I just thought there, something to do with the industry would be somewhere I'd work. But little did I know, actually, where I am now. It's far from it, to be honest.
There's still time. There is still time. So what is your passion, and how did you get started with that passion?
When I grew up, one of my passions was sport. I love all sports, but one in particular, hockey. When I was around 10 years old, I went and picked up a stick because my brother was playing hockey. I went to a session, my school never played it. I liked it. It gave me an opportunity to meet others, play with a different range of people from different schools. I really enjoyed it. And from the age of 11, 10, even now at my fine old age, I still play the sport. And it's been something, a thread all throughout my career. And it's given me amazing opportunities just by playing the sport. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to attend the City of London School. And that was as a result of representing Essex, East of England, and England playing hockey. So I managed to travel the country. I played for a number of clubs. It's kept me fit. It's really helped my well-being as well, you know, dealing with the pressures of life, family, and work. And now I still play and are helping the next generation come and play the sport. I'm making hockey, which is not that diverse, let's be honest. A lot of it, when I was young, it was just me, an only brown face, playing hockey for sides, traveling the country. I never saw others play the sport. But now I'm in a club, you know, one of the most diverse in the country, youth, old, playing together. And that passion, playing sport, playing hockey, has not left me.
So when did you become co-chair of the Government Commercial Function Positive Support Group? And what are the objectives of the PSG?
It happened by accident, Justin. And I became co-chair at the beginning of 2021. I showed an interest to become a member and actually found out that there was an opportunity to lead the network going forward. The objective of the Positive Support Group is to support, improve, and grow and showcase the career development of staff in the commercial profession. How we do that is by a number of things. We're trying to increase staff at all levels within the commercial function, have opportunities for development and training. Number 3, giving members a voice on issues that impact them in the function. Number 4, working in partnership with the centre to drive policy that takes into account diverse needs. Number 5, providing a support to network to members to come and have a safe space to talk. Number 6, working to really influence the culture of the government commercial function. So it's a much better place to work, drive talent into the organisation.
So what is your outside passion? Because you've been really clear, you've talked to me about hockey, but is there any other things that sort of motivate you or make you want to do more?
So I've got a couple of other outside passions, one of which is running. When I was at school, I really enjoyed cross-country running, actually. And I always had a dream one day I would run the London Marathon. And I've never run a race in my life. And back in 2013, I applied many times to join the London Marathon, but never got a spot. Eventually, I got a charity spot, and that was my route in. And I did it, trained myself, and I thought, never, ever again. And since then, I've completed the London Marathon 3 times, and guess what? I said, never, ever again. And I've signed up again this year.
Wow, so good.
And the reason why I like running is it really helps. When I'm out by myself, doing a long run, short run, it gives me time to reflect. And also, within our communities, especially within the Bangladeshi communities, we've got a lot of issues with diabetes, health, the types of food that we eat, really oily. And I'm trying to encourage others to actually go out, run, walk, and take part in physical activity so they can benefit them with their health. So that's one. And the other thing that I do is cycling. It saves me a lot of money commuting, first of all, and that's definitely a plus point.
Yeah.
But actually, being on a bike, it's good for the joints. But going away for 3-4 hour ride on a country lane, it just gives you that time to slow down and reflect and see the beauty that's all around. And that's just wonderful for your mental health and well-being. So those are the 2 other things that I do enjoy.
So when did you become an equalities, diversity and inclusion advocate?
I think it started really young. When there used to be visitors in my house coming to see my dad, and I'm hearing these stories about issues in the workplace. So I've really had an interest. Either when I was little, when I was in school, the things that I heard, the experiences that my uncles, my brothers were facing, so it was always instilled with me to actually go and help and support and provide good advice. And that's always stayed with me. And in the workplace, people have approached me to discuss matters, personal matters, private matters, issues to do with race. So I've always had an interest. It was only formally in the last couple of years where I've decided, I've always been part of networks, to actually lead a network, to drive the change, to kind of put a spotlight on the issues we're all having, and to make a positive difference. So it's always been with me, to be honest. It's just now that I've taken a formal role after all these years.
So one of the things that we all know is about mentors, allyship and sponsors. We know how that can help ethnic minority people move around in the civil service. So my question to you is, who has been your greatest mentor?
When I think about mentor, I'm thinking about actually 2 individuals that have had a massive influence on my career. One individual is called Asif, the other's Ray. I met them when I was transitioning in my career, and I started my career in investment banking, and then the crash happened, and I was made redundant, and I was thinking, what do I do next? I came into the public sector, and I really wanted to make a difference, especially to children and education. Asif took me on board, gave me so much knowledge. Someone who has also had a similar sort of career path, came from banking, went into the public sector, and he supported me with a whole host of things in terms of giving me the opportunity to speak to seniors, to lead projects. And as I was doing that, another mentor came into my life, Ray, who led the procurement function at the university I was working at. And he saw my talent, got me involved, wrote me in, and suddenly I found myself working in his team. And actually, through their support, I am where I am in terms of being a commercial leader, driving and delivering commercial projects in the public sector. But those learnings really came from them early in my career, guiding me, nurturing me, supporting me throughout. So it's really important to get mentors.
So being at Civil Service Live today, you've heard numbers of conversations around a modern civil service. Reform champions have spoken to it. Alex Chisholm, Perm Second Cabinet Officer, spoke about it. What do you think your take is on a modern civil service?
It's great to be here at Civil Service Live, meeting a whole host of colleagues. For me, a modern civil service means a diverse workforce. And what you get with that is diversity of thought, diversity of ideas, diversity of opinions. And we need to reflect the society that we live in. We're just not there. And we need to ensure at all levels, at senior civil service and below, we've got the right mix of talent and diverse talent in that room, challenging opinions, having their say, influencing policy agenda. So for me, in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, that's what we need to see, actually not hitting those targets, but exceeding those targets. Because I think those will deliver great outcomes for the civil service.
So I really love your answer around that modern civil service. Now, as we all know, there are certain barriers that are stopping us from moving. But what barriers do you think may stop the civil service being as modern as it hopes to achieve?
I think a key barrier is representation. When I'm looking for a job, I'm looking to see if it's diverse. I'm doing my homework now.
Sure.
Now, I'll give you an example. Today, I was at a session, and when I looked at the panel for the commercial function, and I work in the function myself, the three individuals that were sitting in the panel were white and male. There was a question that came from the audience around D&I, how representative you are, and it was answered by the panel. But I was sitting also amongst the audience, and I know the great work that we're doing, but actually, we should have a seat at those sessions to showcase that actually, I've made it, guys. You know, you're all welcome. There's people like me, I'm Bengali background, working in the commercial function, but we just don't have enough. So we need to make sure that actually all these events that we have in the civil service takes into account the diverse sort of people that we have. Even though they're a small bunch, we need to advocate for our profession. We need to be in front of people. We need to sell it, because people sell to people, and that's how we can kind of get people inside our sort of profession. And I think we're still not there yet. And something like that, a small change, an invitation, perhaps to our members in the network, having an invite to come and share their experience would actually encourage others to kind of join the function.
So once again, really great answer. I'm going to go on to our final question now, if that's okay. And there's always been a call to action, a call to arms. What can we as civil servants do more of? So what do you think that to help us see the change in the civil service, to help us become a more modern civil service, what do you think we need to do as the civil servants within the civil service?
Great question. I think as civil servants, in my opinion, we need to spend more time with our communities to listen, hear some of the challenges that they're facing, whether that's poverty, whether that challenges within particular communities, and to just listen, step into their shoes. We as civil servants actually need to do that so that we can drive the positive change. And I don't think we listen enough to the communities. We do a lot of work with ministers, we do a lot of work with government, but actually we should also have that ability to actually take stock, move into the communities, listen, hear the feedback, and bring that learning back and drive and channel some of the projects that we're all working on. So I think that's certainly one. We need to spend more time in communities. Secondly, we need to encourage youngsters in schools, in universities, to look at the civil service as their career path, as a choice to do their work. And I don't think we do that enough. We do a fantastic range of projects, some of the most complex. Well, the reason why I'm working in government is because I want to be part of projects that are complex, that have a massive impact on people. And you only get that in the civil service. And we need to sell that to youngsters, to schools, go out. So I think we need to do a lot more outreach work, and we don't do enough. We may think we do, but we need to reach those hard to reach areas and go out there and inspire the next generation to come with ideas to make the change.
So I hope as you've watched this, you've enjoyed not only the interview, but some of the answers that came from this interview. Take some of the key points from this interview and hopefully bring that into your teams, into the way how you conduct yourself as a civil servant, and think about how you can challenge others. And then there's a key point that was raised around outreach. What can you do to help go out and speak to your communities, speak to your churches, your synagogues, your mosques, your temples, wherever you believe, wherever you meet people, talk to them about the civil service and help bring in that diverse thought, help bring in that diverse community, and help bring in the new future of a modern civil service. Thank you all, and look out for our next Network Leaders interview.